Good morning, students. In this lecture 32nd of quantum mechanics, we are going to discuss rectangular potential well. So here the particle will be a bound particle in case of rectangular potential well. So here we have considered a bound particle. Bound particle means whose potential energy as well as total energy both are negative. So the potential for this problem, it will be defined by the rectangular potential well of width A, and it is defined as you can see in the figure, from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to A, there is the potential well having value V is equal to minus V naught. So the value of potential, it is minus V naught when x varies between 0 to A. And for x less than 0, potential is 0, and for x greater than A, potential is again 0. So in this way we have defined the potential for the potential well, and as the particle is bound, so its energy and potential energy both are negative, but the magnitude of the total energy, it is less than the magnitude of the height of the potential well, or depth of the potential well. Here we will not say the height because height is of potential barrier. Here we have potential well. So we will say depth of potential well. The magnitude of total energy is less than the magnitude of the depth of potential well. So now we will see this problem from classical point of view. Now according to classical mechanics, we know that total energy, it is always equal to the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. So what will be the expression for kinetic energy? It will be total energy minus potential energy. So in region 1 and region 3, you can clearly see the value of potential energy V is 0 in both the regions. So put this potential energy V, it is equal to 0, and what you will get, that your kinetic energy, it is equal to the total energy in these two regions. And what is the total energy? Total energy is negative in the two regions. It means it will make kinetic energy of the particle negative in the two regions, that is in region 1 and region 2. And kinetic energy's negative value, it is not possible. Therefore, particle cannot enter into the region 1 and region 3 because in these two regions kinetic energy comes out to be negative, which is not possible. So this is classical point of view of region 1 and region 3. Then what is the classical point of view in region 2? That is inside the potential well. In this region 2, what is the classical point of view? Now in region 2, we know that the depth of potential well, it is minus V naught, such that magnitude of E is less than the depth of the potential well. So again see what will be the kinetic energy of a particle in region 2. It will be total energy minus potential energy, which is minus V naught. So minus and minus will be plus. So now if this is negative, value of this is negative, and it's negative, it will be cancelled by this negative, so it will be positive, and this is great, its magnitude is greater than this E. So this E plus V naught, it will come out to be positive. So kinetic energy of the particle in region 2 is positive. So therefore according to classical mechanics, particle will only bounce back and forth inside the potential well from region x is equal to 0 to x is equal to A. That's why we are saying that particle in this problem is bound particle, because it stays inside the potential well. So now we will discuss its quantum mechanical view. So according to quantum mechanical view, use one-dimensional Schrödinger wave equation and find the solution of one-dimensional Schrödinger wave equation in the three regions 1, 2 and 3. So first we will study region 1. In region 1, we know that potential V, it is equal to 0. So put this V is equal to 0 here in the Schrödinger wave equation. It implies d square psi by dx square, and suppose in the first region the value of wave function psi, it is psi 1. So plus 2me by h cut square psi 1 it is equal to 0. Now as we know that total energy E is negative, as total energy E it is less than 0, this implies suppose this is equal to some negative value, suppose that is minus W, and now put this value in this equation and you will get d square psi 1 by dx square minus 2mw by h cut square psi 1 it is equal to 0. And then suppose this as k1 square implies d square psi 1 by dx square minus k1 square psi 1 it is equal to 0, where k1 square it is equal to 2mw by h cut square, and suppose this as equation 3. Now what will be the solution of this differential equation? This is the second order differential equation. Its solution, it will be d square, write its auxiliary equation, it will be d square minus k1 square is equal to 0. So d square is equal to k1 square. So the value of d will be plus minus k1. So the solution of this equation will be the linear combination of e raised to power plus k1x and e raised to power minus k1x. So the solution of this equation A is given by psi 1 it is equal to a e raised to power, there are two values of k1, that is plus k1 and minus k1, so a e raised to power minus k1x plus b e raised to power plus k1x. It will be the solution, and suppose this is equation 4th. And now we know that in region 1, we know that as the particle stays only inside the potential well, but that is according to classical mechanics. So what is according to the postulate of quantum mechanics? According to the postulate of quantum mechanics, we know that at plus infinity and at minus infinity, the value of psi vanishes. Means the probability of finding the particle at plus infinity and minus infinity is 0. So we know that in region 1, we will have only x is equal to minus infinity in this way. So probability of finding the particle at x approaches to minus infinity in region 1 will be 0. And it will be 0 only if a is 0. Why? Because the value of psi, it will vanish in region 1 at x approaches to minus infinity. So this psi will be 0 at x approaches to minus infinity. So put x approaches to minus infinity here, e raised to power minus infinity, it will make this term 0, and this term must also be equal to 0, only then this will be equal to 0. But here when you will put this x approaches to minus infinity, here you will have e raised to power plus infinity. So this term will only be 0 if this a is 0. So according to the postulate of quantum mechanics, probability vanishes, or the value of wave function vanishes at x approaches to plus infinity and minus infinity. In region 1 at x is equal to 0 there is boundary. So in region 1 x will approach to minus infinity only. So at x approaches to minus infinity, the value of psi 1 wave function, it will be 0 if and only if this a will be 0. So put this a is equal to 0, then we have psi 1 is equal to b e raised to power plus k1x, and suppose this as equation 5th. Then discuss the Schrödinger wave equation in region 2. So in region 2, suppose the value of psi, it is equal to psi 2, and the value of v, it is minus v naught, and value of e, it is minus w, and the magnitude of E, it is less than the magnitude of V naught, implies W is less than V naught. So what will be the Schrödinger wave equation in region 2? Write it: d square psi 2 by dx square plus 2m by h cut square the value of E is minus W minus the value of V is minus V naught, psi 2, it is equal to 0. This implies d square psi 2 by dx square plus 2m by h cut square. This minus and minus will be plus V naught. So plus V naught minus W. W is the value of energy, magnitude of energy in region 2. Not in region 2, in all the regions, because this is the energy of the particle. So we have this. And now suppose this is equal to K2 square. So you will have d square psi 2 by dx square plus K2 square psi 2, it is equal to 0, and suppose this as equation 6th, where K2 square is equal to 2m by h cut square V naught minus W, and suppose this as equation 7th. Now what will be the solution of equation 6th? It will be d square plus K2 square is equal to 0 will be its auxiliary equation, and you will get the value of d is equal to plus iota K2 and minus iota K2. So what will be the solution of this equation 6th differential equation? It will be the linear combination of e raised to power plus iota K1x plus iota K2x and e raised to power minus iota K2x. So this is the solution of equation 6th. Phi 2 is equal to linear combination of this, and suppose this as equation 8th. So now we will discuss the solution of Schrödinger equation in region 3rd. So in region 3rd, again V is 0, E is again same, that is minus W. So what will be the Schrödinger wave equation? Suppose the wave function is psi 3 in region 3rd. So the solution of Schrödinger wave equation will be d square psi 3 by dx square plus 2m by h cut square. E is minus W minus 0, psi 3, it is equal to 0. So it will be d square psi 3 by dx square minus 2mw by h cut square, psi 3, it is equal to 0. And this is k1 square. So we have d square psi 3 by dx square minus k1 square, psi 3, it is equal to 0. And suppose this as equation 9th, and the solution of this equation 9th will be d square minus k1 square is equal to 0 will be its auxiliary equation, and the solution of d will be plus minus k1. So its solution will be linear combination of e raised to power minus k1x and e raised to power plus k1x. So the solution of equation 9th is given by psi 3. It is equal to CD. We cannot use E here. Why? Because E we are taking energy. So next is F. So it will be F e raised to power minus k1x, then G e raised to power plus k1x. So this will be the solution, and suppose this equation as equation 10th. Now in region 3rd, there is boundary at x is equal to a. So x will approach to plus infinity in region 3rd. And at x approaches to plus infinity in region 3rd, the probability of finding the particle will be 0, means wave function vanishes at x approaches to plus infinity. But only if what will be 0? This psi 3, it must be 0 at x approaches to plus infinity. So right hand side must also be 0. So at x approaches to plus infinity, here you will have e raised to power minus infinity, which will make this whole term equal to 0. So it's okay with this term. And now see this term. When x will approach to plus infinity, e raised to power plus infinity, it will be infinity. And the only way to make this second term equal to 0 is if g is 0. So at x approaches to plus infinity, the wave function psi 3, it will vanish only if g is equal to 0. So this implies psi 3 is equal to f e raised to power minus k1x. And suppose this as equation 11th. So now we have derived the value of wave functions in all the three regions. So now the wave functions for the three regions that we have obtained are this, this and this for the three regions. And suppose this equation as 12a, b and c respectively. Then apply the boundary conditions. So next step is to apply boundary conditions. So what are the boundary conditions? At x is equal to 0, the value of psi 1 and psi 2 must be equal, and the value of their derivatives must be equal. So first boundary condition, at x is equal to 0, the value of psi 1, it must be equal to psi 2, and d psi 1 by dx, it must be equal to d psi 2 by dx. Similarly, according to the second boundary condition, at x is equal to a, the value of psi 2, it must be equal to psi 3, and d psi 2 by dx, it will be equal to d psi 3 by dx, because only then the postulate of the wave quantum mechanics, it will be satisfied, or only then the wave function, it will satisfy the conditions of acceptable wave functions, if these boundary conditions, they hold well in this problem. So use these boundary conditions. So according to first boundary condition, this psi 1 is equal to psi 2. So the value of psi 1 is this, the value of psi 2 is this. Now put x is equal to 0 here. You will get b, it is equal to c plus d. And suppose this is equation 13th a and this is equation 13th b. So from equation 13th a, first part of equation 13th a, we have this c plus d is equal to b, and suppose this as equation 14th. Then from this derivative part, what we will have? Now d psi 1 by dx. Also d psi 1 by dx at x is equal to 0, it is equal to d psi 2 by dx at x is equal to 0. So this implies the value of psi 1 is b e raised to power plus k1x, so its derivative will be k1b e raised to power plus k1x. Its value at x is equal to 0. And what will be derivative of psi 2? It will be minus iota k2 c e raised to power minus iota k2x plus iota k2d e raised to power plus iota k2x at x is equal to 0. Now put x is equal to 0 on the two sides and you will get k1b, it is equal to, take minus iota k2 common and you will have c e raised to power 0 will be 1 minus d e raised to power 0 will be 1. And now here we have c plus d is equal to b. So find the value of c minus d here. And you will get c minus d, it is equal to minus k1 minus k1 upon iota k2 b. And suppose this as equation 15th. Suppose this as equation 15th. So now apply the second boundary condition at x is equal to a. At x is equal to a, psi 2 is equal to psi 3. So what is the value of psi 2? It is c e raised to power minus iota k2x plus d e raised to power plus iota k2x at x is equal to a, and it will be equal to psi 3, which is f e raised to power minus k1x at x is equal to a. So put x is equal to a here and you will get c e raised to power minus iota k2a plus d e raised to power plus iota k2a. It is equal to f e raised to power minus k1a. And suppose this as equation 16th. So according to the second part of the second boundary condition, we have d psi 3 by dx, it is equal to d psi 2 by dx. So this condition, it will give us the derivative of psi 2. It is minus iota k2c e raised to power minus iota k2x plus iota k2d e raised to power plus iota k2x. It is equal to minus k1 f e raised to power minus k1x at x is equal to a. So put x is equal to a here and you will get, take this minus iota k2 common and you will get c e raised to power minus iota k2a minus d e raised to power minus plus iota k2a. It is equal to minus k1 f e raised to power minus k1a. So this negative and negative will be cancelled out and we have c e raised to power minus iota k2a minus d e raised to power plus iota k2a. It is equal to k1 by iota k2. Rationalize it, you will get minus iota k1 by k2 f e raised to power minus k1a. And suppose this equation as equation 17th. So now solve these equations. First from equation 14th and 15th. From equation 14th and 15th, first of all, add the two equations to get the value of c in terms of b. Then subtract the two equations to get the value of d in terms of b. So first adding 14th and 15th, you will get c. adding 14th and 15th, we will have C plus D plus C minus D. So this left hand side D minus D will be cancelled out, and on right hand side we have B and minus K1 upon iota K2 B. And now rationalize this term and you will get B plus iota K1 by K2 B. So you have 2C, it is equal to, take B common, and we have 1 plus iota K1 by K2. And move this 2 to this side and you will get the value of C in terms of B. So C is B by 2, 1 plus iota K1 by K2. And suppose this equation as equation 18th. Then subtract equation 15th from 14th. 14 minus 15 means subtract 15 from 14. Then you will get C plus D minus C plus D. Then C minus C will be cancelled out. And on right hand side you will have B minus of this minus. Then it will be plus K1 by iota K2 B. Rationalize again the second term because it includes iota in the denominator. So it will be B minus iota K1 by K2 B. So on left hand side we have 2D and on right hand side we have B common, 1 minus iota K1 by K2. Now move this 2 to this side and you will have value of D, and suppose that as equation 19th. So we have D is equal to B by 2, 1 minus iota K1 by K2. So this is equation D and suppose it as 19th. So we have calculated C and D in terms of B. Now put both these values from 18th and 19th of C and D in equation 16th to get the value of F in terms of B, and then put the value of C and D obtained from equation 18th and 19th in equation 17th to get the value, another value of F in terms of B. Now put the value of C and D. The value of C is 1 plus iota K1 by K2 into B by 2. Here we have B by 2 and in the value of D we also have B by 2. So take B by 2 common. So here we will have 1 plus iota K1 by K2 into e raised to power minus iota K2a plus 1 minus iota K1 by K2 into e raised to power plus iota K2a into B by 2. It is equal to F e raised to power minus K1a. So now multiply this. Inside the bracket we will have e raised to power minus iota K2a plus iota K1 by K2 into e raised to power minus iota K2a plus e raised to power plus iota K2a minus iota K1 by K2 into e raised to power plus iota K2a into B by 2. It is equal to F e raised to power minus K1a. So now from this and this term, keep these two terms at one side, and from this and this term we have iota K1 by K2 common. So next we have e raised to power, write this term first, e raised to power plus iota K2a plus e raised to power minus iota K2a, then plus this is e raised to power plus iota K2a. So take this minus iota K1 by K2 common. So we have, because we have to keep this term first and it has minus iota K1 by K2. So take this minus iota K1 by K2 common, and then you will have e raised to power plus iota k2a. Here you will have minus e raised to power minus iota k2a. b by 2, it is equal to f e raised to power minus k1a. And this is e raised to power plus iota theta plus e raised to power minus iota theta. It is 2 cos theta. So it is equal to 2 cos, instead of theta we have k2a, minus iota k1 by k2, and e raised to power iota theta minus e raised to power minus iota theta. It is 2 sin theta. So here we will have 2 iota sin theta, and instead of theta we have k2a. This is equal to f e raised to power minus k1a. So the value of f e raised to power minus k1a, it is 2 common. We have cos k2a, iota into iota, iota square, which is minus 1, minus and minus will be plus, k1 by k2 into sin k2a. And suppose this as equation 20th A. And now put the values of C and D from equation 18th and 19th in equation 17th, and you will have the value of this in terms of B, one another value, and we also have B by 2 here. B by 2 here, and this 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. So this is one value of f in terms of B.